On Christmas Day, my mom asked me if I had Tourette's because I kept saying hang. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you catch the hang? There ain't nothing you can do about it. Caught me a case of the hangs. So there's that.
We do have the combine coming up. Boys had a little bit of a meeting underdog to see if it was a possibility that there could be some like online tournament for how people perform at this combine. So that would be sick as fuck if that could happen. I'm not sure the logistics on it, but I need to start training for that. I don't know if I'm actually going to get around to training it. Like ideally it would be nice if like I could practice a 40, but like where do you practice a 40, you know? Yeah, fucking 8th Avenue, like 30th Street. No shot. I'm not doing it. Like broad jump, vertical jump, 3-cone, all those just sound fucking miserable. I tell you what, if we get underdog to put up lines, I'm gonna help you out right now. I don't know if this is insider trading. I don't know if this is some Calvin Ridley shit, but like take my unders. Fade the fuck out of me, all right? I might look athletic. I might look like I'm fucking in shape and can do some damage. I'm telling you, it's all for show. I am so washed athletically. So this is your warning now. I can already see it. People tweeting at me being like, you sold the bag. I bet on you, blah, 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 blah. Don't. I'm telling you now.
When you're thinking of goals, like think about the previous year. Maybe work backwards. Think about, I think I stepped in absolute just poop. I think there's poop on the bottom of my shoe. God damn.
I don't think that's dog poop.
Yeah.
That would be you poop.
I think it's Jameson's poop. He's so used to pooping in the office. Guy moves out 2 days. He can't forget not to poop on that fucking floor. I was waiting. I saw your camera flip. And I was waiting for you to get that facial expression. Welcome back.
Officially post-Christmas. By the time you guys are watching this, we'll be in the new year. We will be in 2024. It is time to be new year, new me. New year, new us. New year, new BDGE.
Back in the office, like I left, I was gone for like 1 day. Everybody else was gone for 10 days. Couldn't imagine not having work ethic like that. Couldn't imagine showing up to the office once in a 4-day period. Just couldn't be me, you know? I'm just built different. Not built like those little fairies out there.
I know none of them will mention this, and I know Sexy won't mention this, but January 3rd, Wednesday before you watch this, Sexy P's birthday, January 3rd. Drop some comments to Sexy P about his birthday. We don't get to see him in Canada, but I want him to know we love him, we acknowledge him, we appreciate him, and he deserves some birthday wishes. Really wasn't coming into this vlog planning on talking about goals, because something happened on Christmas night that needs to be addressed. I don't know if it will be addressed. I'll make sure to address it. I'm not going to victory lap, because that's not the person I am. And the award is not out yet, so that would be early victory lapping. But I think I no longer have to hear about Brock Purdy being MVP from Tony. He's gotten real confident, real cocky in the past month.
I'm all in on Brock Purdy winning MVP. He's going to absolutely shit down the Eagles' throats. He's going to kill the Seahawks next time we see him. We're winning the conference. He's winning MVP. You've heard it here first, December 1st. Lock it in. Now I'm amped.
You guys watch the game. I rest my case. I don't need to touch on it anymore. You know, on to that. Post-Christmas. For Christmas, I got some new pants. I didn't get these. I bought these myself. On, like, Christmas Eve, I went and bought these at the mall. They're like $30. I'm like, I don't have any green pants. I could use more pants.
I made an executive decision this morning. I think I'm gonna go for a mullet. My hair probably looks ridiculous right now. This is like the longest I've had it in a long time. It's just really big and poofy and curly, but I actually feel like the structure of the hair, if we got it done professionally, could really turn into something. I think that thing is a mullet. I think with a new year, maybe we go the new hairstyle. I have not changed up my hair, and I've been cutting my own hair for close to 7 years now. When I first moved into Brooklyn and I was going after this whole thing, the content thing, I wasn't making that much money at the time. I was like, man, I need to cut expenses. And as you guys already know, haircuts in New York can run you upwards of $94, you know, $92. So that was the first expense that I cut out. In turn, I started cutting my own hair. Bought me a clipper off Amazon. You know, the guards go all the way up to like a 25, and they do it in increments of 3, 25, 22, 19. You guys know how math works. Maybe not, you know. I know people like Gut has an audience on here, so. I've been cutting my hair for a long time, which is why it always looks like it's fucking out of control. I haven't gotten a real professional haircut in probably close to 7 years. Something just came over me and said, fuck it, Nick, what else are you doing with your life? Get a mullet. So I think I'm there.
I went to the Eagles-Giants game on Christmas. Kind of good, you know, better than it should have been. It's like the Eagles struggled more, which made it more entertaining, but it's like kind of embarrassing. Like, I'm still out here posting content saying you're a top 5 team and you're letting Tyrod Taylor, Tommy DeVito be within 1 score. What are we doing? Enough. Actually, you know, I'm going all over. Last night, today is December 27th. December 26th, I got back to New York. I went to Jersey and I stayed in my own apartment. I'm done. I'm officially out of the office as far as sleeping. I still got shit to move out, like clothes and shit, but I'm officially out of the office and I slept in the apartment for the first time, and that, I gotta say, it was beautiful. This video is for about like 17 people because I don't feel like taking separate videos and sending it to everyone. This is for the vlog. This is for Gut to let him know I moved in. And this is for my mom and girlfriend who are asking for pictures of the apartment. Just moved in, first day officially staying in the apartment. You guys have already seen a basic tour. Not to be a, you know, a negative Nancy, a complainer, but this is my room. It's a little messy. Neither my room or Gut's room light switches work. Awesome start. I'm sorry for the echo. This is my bed frame. I'm not even gonna come close to putting that together right now because I don't feel like it. This is my mattress on the floor. This is all the trash, the bullshit I brought in. Fucking Amazon put 17 boxes more than we needed. There's my computer and backpack, which I tried doing work, but I forgot we have no Wi-Fi. I got us a cutting board, a wooden cutting board, because plastic cutting boards, I saw TikTok say it gives you cancer. That is a must. No cancer here. Gut said he's bringing pans, but you know, he's not gonna be here for another week, so I got a pan in the meantime. Nice view. That's a reflection of me in the mirror. I think my window's gonna open. Oh, opens a little bit, so I can't jump out. That's good to know, but yep, first night in Jersey, first night in the new crib. Hang. Getting to wake up whenever I wanted, getting to go in my own shower, getting to go in my own gym. The apartment has a gym. Just being able to go at my own pace rather than like, I gotta hurry up, get up, do this, do that before anyone gets in the office because I don't wanna be stinky smelling in the office when people get here. So that's why I wake up early when I used to live here, so I could go early to the gym and shower. But now I could wake up at 8 o'clock and just roll into the shower if I want. I no longer have to get up at 6.
One of my favorite accounts on Instagram/TikTok is actually a barber shop in New York City. I think they're down in Chinatown. I've never been to them, obviously. Called 12 Pell. So like the number 12, 12, P-E-L-L. Content is like them giving haircuts and they're fucking so good. I also want to talk about them in the next big content podcast that I film because they are like one of the poster children for like a brand that makes great content that has converted that into high priced products because the demand for their content has shot up. I want to talk about them actually, but I want to go to them. And they do like consultations, probably go and kind of talk through, you know, what I want, what I see. We'll work through like long term, what's the best approach to doing it if we want to do it like this. I got a lot of like insecurities when it comes to my hair. And I think maybe that's why I never changed it up. Like I got real big ears, so I can't really go like super short on the sides. I got like kind of a receding hairline here too. I think my head is like weirdly shaped. It starts, you know, we all got insecurities. We all got problems. I'm just the first to admit it. I miss Kanye.
But back to the original point of the video, the goal. The goals for 2024, reasonably, feasibly, optimistically, overreachingly, not a word. I've said before, I think we're going to get pretty quickly to 100,000 subscribers on the trivia channel. We're at about 31,000 right now, probably be at 32,000 by the new year. Is it realistic to say we're going to triple that? Are we gonna get 68 extra thousand subscribers within 12 months? I would say yes.
Goddamn right.
A big reason I went full-time here is so I could go heavy into the trivia channel. Nick knows he brought me on originally as an intern to have a fantasy football role, but heading into full-time role, trivia is where I want to go and I want to take it to the next level. So I'm putting it on me, stamping my label saying, yes, we will get there because I believe I'll have such a strong influence on it that I'm willing to bet on myself and say we will get there. Off season, I think we'll grow a lot more. TikTok will be able to plug in a lot more, telling people on TikTok where we have a much larger audience to go flood into the YouTube channel. And I think we will be able to get to 100,000 subscribers on the trivia channel come 2025 within the 2024 year.
I got up at fucking 4:30 a.m. this morning. No reason, just woke up and I was like, I ain't going back to sleep. Fuck it, we ball. I went to sleep at like 9 last night though. JL's coming into the office today. He should be here in about an hour or so. So we're gonna get down to business. He comes usually for like 3-day chunks at a time. So we try to schedule out the 3 days that he's here to accomplish as much as we can, but we never do. Not because like we don't get a lot of work done, but it's every time we schedule things out, For instance, one of the tasks is to redesign our website's landing page to include a new feature. Our dynasty rankings are gonna go live in a couple weeks. So we want to include the fact that we offer that on the landing page of the website. And that takes an entire redesign because you need to like restructure website itself. And every time that we schedule things out, I'll say like, okay, we'll put on the calendar for like, we'll have an hour meeting for that. That always ends up turning into like 2 or 2.5 hours, and then it pushes back on other things. So that always happens. So we're trying to get tight with it, you know? Keep it tight. Hang.
Another goal of mine in 2024 is to get some guests to the channel. This year we've had Brett Coleman, Jalen Wilson, I think are might be the two biggest and the two only. We did a collab with Nerd Sesh on their channel, but I want to get some, you know, some ballers on there. Like, what's Brad Pitt doing? Does Brad Pitt know football? What's OBJ doing in the off season? Justin Herbert? Do you know like, let's get some heavy hitters. Those three, I'm reaching a little bit, but same point, same principle. But when they come to the trivia channel, they're not wondering what game are we playing, but what game are we playing and who are we playing it with? It's like a double mystery that the customers, the viewers, the audience, you right there start to question. Like, I know they're gonna be trivia today, but what are we doing? Are we doing wavelength? Are we doing this game? Are we doing that game? And who are we playing with? Is it Tom Brady? Brad Pitt? Is it Leonardo DiCaprio? Is it Megan Fox? Who knows? I don't know, I'm excited. On my own channel, on TikTok, I'm at about 230,000 followers, and I usually don't really give a fuck about like how many followers I have. I just appreciate, like, it's just a number at the end of the day. But it would be cool to hit 300, you know? I'm not gonna act like I'm immune to that, and like, definitely still feels good. It's just not like the end all be all. That would be cool. This is like a goal of mine. I don't know how to work towards it, but I would like to walk around the office and be known like, J-Mo's the best fucking trivia player. Like, there is no, like, I don't know if I'll ever get to Matt level, all right? But with Matt gone, it's gotta be someone to fill the shoes as the top dog. I would love that to be me. I would argue I'm like pretty close to there. Like, if I had to bet like who knows the most, I would still pick myself, but it's like, it's not like a consensus answer. Like, I'm not gonna argue with anyone. Like, if Tony wanted to put himself above me, Tony knows ball, I'm not gonna argue with him. I wanna get to level where there is no arguments because it's obvious, you know, the vice versa. I don't know how to study trivia. I just gotta fucking, like, I feel like I know anything that I've watched in my time, but I'm only 21, so like, my time, it's limited, all right? I only started watching this in like 2012 or some shit, so I gotta learn about some 90s, some early 2000s. Hang. I was gonna wait for Tony, but he's not here today, so update, MVP?
Don't care.
Who's your pick? Who's
Don't
it?
care.
This
Care
matters.
less now.
This needs to be documented.
Brock Purdy.
Dude, I think if the Dolphins finish 2-0, they'll give it to Tua. Like, he would be a good bet right now. Value odds, value-wise. Even his haters know value's there. Do something cool.
You set me up for failure.
This was going to be better if Tony was here, but you don't really care about MVP. Fine, Super Bowl pick.
I care even less about that.
Okay. JL, who's your MVP and Super Bowl pick?
Lamar Jackson, Ravens.
Done. Who do they beat in the Super Bowl? Niners again?
I think they go back with the Niners.
Okay. I feel like the Dolphins might win this week, dude. Beat that shit out of them.
If it's not Ravens, I hope it's Dolphins.
You hope it's Dolphins if it's not? Miami's got good film now. The Niners are the same team as the Dolphins. The Dolphins know that. Just saying, McDaniel's got the script. I don't know Waddle though, so never mind.
We are having a meeting later at 1. We're gonna go over our goals for the 2024 year. So we're all gonna come to the meeting with goals. You can, because you weren't here yesterday, you can participate in that, or we could do that at a later time with you. Joe, you're also welcome to participate if you want. Basically, we're laying out the goals that we want to accomplish for next year, but I just want them to be more thought out, not ones that are necessarily like numerical based or ones that are, I want things that you personally can go and attack, you know, not like one of the examples I gave is like, oh, let's get TikTok to 1 million followers. That just depends on the algorithm. It's also like, if we're at, 700,000 by the time next December rolls around, it's like, okay, what are you gonna put out 15 videos a day now to try to hit that goal? Like, I want goals where you feel like you can, one, that you personally want to accomplish, and it could be anything. It could be with social media, it could be personal stuff, it could be whatever within the business. I would suggest looking at things that you disliked last year and make it a goal to try to
make sure you're not maybe doing that this upcoming year, stuff like that. So think about it from more of like a holistic level than just vanity metrics kind of thing. So we're gonna have that meeting at 1 o'clock. We're all gonna sit down and kind of go through those things. Probably more of like the brainstorm product type meeting that we had, where obviously there's no like wrong goals that you can have. You know, there won't be like pushback or anything. But I think it'll be a good discussion for everybody to have, and we'll be able to like kind of bounce off of each other for those things. And one more example I gave was like the live trivia event. Like that'll be one of my goals, which is difficult to pull off, obviously, if we're doing it with multiple teams and like a large crowd and everything, but it's something that I can control. Like I know if I just like push myself to work a little bit harder to make it happen, like I can make that happen kind of thing, not depending on other people. So those are the kind of goals I'm going to be probably like striving for the most part. So we'll have that meeting, and that will probably most likely be the theme of next vlog. I know you guys talked a little bit about some of your goals in the previous vlog, and I actually didn't watch it yet because I knew you talked about it, and I didn't want to like go into the meeting with any sort of like thoughts on what you guys had said already. I wanted to go in with like a clean blank slate. So in the confessions later today, like that will probably be the focus of like what I talk about in my confession. You guys can do whatever you want with it because you've spoken about some of them already.
Previously on Ready to Die.
I never do this. Actually, I've literally never done this before. I'm the dude that stands behind the camera. I'm Joe. Nice to meet all of you. I have a weird obsession with drawing out all the balloons that GMO blows up. I don't know why. Only thing I wanted to talk about, I have a skill that I need to share with somebody. Every time I stand on a platform for the train, when I come in here on Fridays, the door always lands on me. No matter where I stand, the door is always on me. Yeah, that's literally the only thing I wanted to talk about. Other than that, I got nothing.
Things that's going on in the actual business so far. I'm leaving to Florida this week, but before I go, one of the big things we talked about was the theme of this week was talking about what we want to accomplish for the new year. Not just saying new year, new me, just for fun. Just to yap about it, we sat down and had like real goals. Everyone shared about their opinions, not just their goals of the company, their goals for themselves. I think Nick cemented the fact and he promised and swore us he's gonna run a marathon this year, so I'm really proud of him.
Are you running a marathon next year?
Am I?
Yeah, GMO says you're running the New York Marathon.
Is that he set that goal up for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was your goal.
It's crazy because that was his goal originally. Maybe we'll do it together. Me and JMO, we're running the New York City Marathon together. It's our goal for next year. Just those words have never left my mouth.
And happy for him to admit that and go for that. So shout out to Nick doing the New York Marathon next year.
That's crazy. That's crazy that Nick and JMO have verbally committed each other to running a marathon, because I've thrown out cardio as a deal or no deal punishment in the past and they've both been so against it. Like they'd rather dress up as slutty maids. They would rather dye their hair than do any type of cardio. So them both doing a marathon, gonna be interesting. I don't think either one of them could complete it. My money would be against them, unfortunately. Like I am rooting for them. I just, sometimes you just gotta be a little realistic. Like a whole fucking marathon. You don't even want to start with a half marathon? We're talking about 26 miles here. God, that's insane. I don't think there's any circumstance in my life I would try to run a marathon.
I see what he's doing. It's just like when he gets onto when he does like the fantasy videos on the other channel, he'll like bring his dinosaurs into the video and then be like, Nick gave these to me, he won't stop giving me dinosaurs. He's just a liar, basically what it came down to. Hopefully in 2024, his New Year's resolution is to stop lying. Jameis Stain, you made the best week of my life. Not having him here. Haven't gone 3 days without that, man. Okay, let's dial in. Yeah, I started ripping apart The Office.
I have come back from California. Feels like I've been away for a while. I mean, I came back, a lot of things are packed up, put away in boxes. So, which, it's kind of cool because it's never fun to pack, So kind of glad that I missed that.
We are tearing everything down. Plaques just sitting on, like this could have been hidden under a fucking anything. Nothing's organized here. It was just taken down. There's a TV sitting on a couch right behind the camera.
It's packing time.
Shouldn't just throw it in a random box.
No, but also definitely put bubble wrap over that. So we're packing up the office. I don't even know where to start. We got like a couple weeks still till we move, but the packers will probably come maybe next week to take our shit. The problem is we still use 90% of the equipment and stuff in here, so we can't pack most of it. We can't be packing up plants because they need sunlight over the next 2 weeks. Can't put JMO in a box. We need him to make rankings videos for the next 4 weeks in a row.
Done. Rankings is done. It's official. Championship's over.
For you. Go. We filled up like a good 10 to 15 boxes of stuff that we had in the office, and then I asked Joe, does it look like we packed? And he said, nah, not at all. Feels like a him problem. We worked hard on those fucking 15 boxes of stuff. Whatever. Yeah, so we're packing things up. New Year's about to hit. We got 1 week left of fantasy.
So yeah, we're moving offices. By the time I get back, we'll be 1 week away from being in the new office. So soon, the trivia videos you guys watch will be in a whole new setting. I know it might take time to adjust. I know you might like the OG setting. I do too, but in the long run, it will look a lot better, a lot more aesthetically pleasing, and overall, the better move and the needed move.
Back with the boys. I'm starting to get lonely in Baltimore. Everybody is up here working throughout the day, so that it's not like, you know, they're yapping on Slack. They just yell across the office. I got nobody to yell to, so I just sit there or I yell to myself. So it always feels good coming back up to NYC because I feel like I get just like a nice refresh. Ooh, so whenever I do come up here, I pick a different hotel, play like hotel roulette. And so I've just been finding different hotels in different areas to try and see which one I like the most. And the one I went to on this trip was pretty nice. The view was perfect. Got the Empire State Building right there, full city view. The lobby of the hotel had porcelain Jordans, which I didn't even know was a thing. It's like an art installation. I didn't even know I wanted these things, but it's all I can think about. In the morning, it had a great view. I looked out, opened my curtains, and there's a dude right on the roof of the building next to my hotel room, just pissing. He just whipped it out. He's on the roof of this New York building, surrounded by skyscrapers. This man is in an arena of his own, just pissing.
My flight actually got canceled on the day I was supposed to come back, so got an extra day in California. Overall, it was good being back. Every once in a while, I just need some fresher air than what New York offers. You know, I need to go hug a palm tree just to kind of reset the mind, you know? When I first got back, me, J-Mo, JL, Nick, we had a very romantic candlelit dinner at a place called Little Maven. Highly would recommend. I think Nick gave out, don't quote me on this, but I do think he gave their margarita somewhere in the 9 range, which is very high. Good margarita, good chicken. They were they catered to J-Mo a lot, who has celiac disease, so they were marking up the menu, what you can and cannot have. They were very nice to our boy J-Mo, so love Little Maven, shout out to them.
I'm excited for the off season just to be able to relax for a second and take our foot off the pedal, you know? Some people still like to work, you know, and like people, when they train for the marathon or when they're like in a workout schedule, and they're like, oh, I have like rest days and stuff, you know, but they're like active rest days. Some people have active rest days where I'll go for a walk or I'll still do like a light workout or something like that. That's my thought process. Like, okay, next week, maybe the next 2 weeks, I'll kind of just relax, still probably put out like 4 or 5 videos. J-Mo, on the other hand, taking the whole fucking week off. Taking the whole week off. You ever heard of an active rest day, J-Mo? Ever heard of it? Clearly not. It really got me pissed off that he said I was running the marathon now. I can only think about ways to drown him. What's really going on? Okay, so we have the new year coming and we had a meeting for our goals.
Oh my God. Look at this motherfucker.
All right. Point of the meeting is for us to kind of put our goals out there and for us to hold ourselves but hold each other accountable for things that we want to accomplish, because at the end of the day, we can continue doing all the stuff that we're doing and be fine and get paid and work and whatever, but innovation and taking what we're doing to the next level like is not just going to happen by accident. You know, we need to be intentional with things and we need to be putting ourselves to a standard that's up here and going after it. And I think if you don't put actionable steps behind that, if you're not choosing how to attack those things, again, no one's going to show up at our door and be like, you guys have done such a good job. Like, here you go. Here's this, here's that. It's our job to kind of innovate and be at the forward part of the frontier. So for these goals, like I don't want them to be capped at a certain level of creativity. When we really like put our feet down and get after it, you know, we're all here to work. I don't think any of us have a problem working really fucking hard and working long hours if we need to. I think we just need the right things to work on and have a direction of what we're working on rather than a bunch of random things that we do on the daily. Those things are always going to be part of every job that you're in, but when you have a higher overarching goal, something that you're really passionate about and you want to see come to fruition and come to see be real life, I don't think there's very many things that we couldn't actually pull off if we really, really try to and like put our minds to it. So that's kind of the purpose of this conversation, to like get out any thoughts that you have that you want to accomplish, that you want to get after. It could be big, it could be small, it could be really anything.
The message that I wanted to send out to them and to maybe you guys as well, I think a lot of people have vanity metric goals that they're good, but I think trying to get down to the premise of the goals that you're setting for yourself are probably more helpful to you.
Basically setting goals for the 2024 year, the next football season. It was good. We were able to air out everything that we want to accomplish. And I think now that it's been said, kind of put out there, we can all collectively come together to try to work on these things, because I think we all have a bunch of things we want to accomplish, but it kind of gets lost in the day-to-day stuff of what we're already doing. I think next year we're going to be more cognitive of these bigger goals that we have, that we want to achieve.
It's cool in the sense of like the people I work with. So it's just really rewarding or like satisfying just to see like Gut, what Jameson, what Tony, like what do they want to do? Where's that like passion coming from? Like, no constraints. What do you want to achieve in the next year? I learned a bunch of new information about each of the guys on the team through that exercise, which was really cool.
Right, like everyone, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds, but it's like breaking down how you're gonna do that, I think is more helpful to you. It's like, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week or stuff like that, I think helps people, because that larger picture, that larger goal is usually really overwhelming for people. Tiny little steps are so rewarding for you. And I think most people will never realize that because they don't even want to start because they're so overwhelmed from that. So when you're thinking of goals, like think about the previous year, maybe work backwards. Think about, I think I stepped in absolute just poop. I think there's poop on the bottom of my shoe. I think it's Jameson's poop. He's so used to pooping in the office. Okay, enough, let's dial in. Why you have your shirt over your nose? I'm trying to hide my laugh. Well, because I didn't realize it until I put my foot up and I was like, that's poop. That's poop. Are my feet fucking up the focus? Perfect. I'm in my bag now. I think it's good to have a mixture of goals to fix things that you did not like in the past, as well as shoot for big time goals. You can't accomplish anything big time without having the goal of doing it. One of my goals was throw a live trivia event, right?
I know Nick wants to throw a live event. That's one thing that I hope we are able to attack in the next year for sure.
Nick's was about a live event and building his personal brand, which made sense to me. That was, I talk to him every morning, so he's always yapping about the same stuff.
Run a live trivia event. I think we've built a foundation. We have the audience for it. We have a fucking crazy fan base for it. Part of that will be, and any of you guys who have been parts of the live events understand that, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into it. With the live event, it'll be things like finding a venue, making sure that they're open for those days, how much it costs to do that, communicating with, if we're doing groups or other teams that we're competing against, that's, 5, 6, 8 groups of teams that we need to coordinate and make sure that they're free for a weekend, that they're free for a day, that they're willing to do it. What's the incentive for them to do it? We need to be able to sell out the theater, hypothetically, which means marketing efforts, the logistics behind it, making sure that we give them an experience besides having people show up, sit down in the chairs, cool. It's like we think through, how do we greet them? What do we do with them afterwards? How do we make sure that they feel acknowledged? Do we speak to sponsors? Do we reach out to Underdog? Do we reach out to more people than Underdog? Filming wise, how many people, you guys get the gist. There's a lot of this shit that goes on, and I'm not worried about it at all. I just know it'll take a few days, hours, whatever, of me really sitting down and getting to like a deep work state of organizing these things.
And the way I'm picturing it in my head is legitimately 200 to 300 people in the crowd with teams that are representative of big time brands or companies or individuals or creators or whatever. And that's what I'm going for, the highest of the level. You're probably gonna fail and you're probably gonna come in way below that. But shooting for the thing of failure, right? Like if we don't have the live event, if we end up just doing it at a bar with 4 teams, 50 people in the bar, whatever, that'll still be really, really cool. But I don't wanna shoot there, because if I fail there, then the level's really low. Like you never wanna downplay the goals that you have in your mind, because you can't achieve them unless you're in your fucking mind. They might take longer, they might take a really long time to get there. Like what we have here is something that I had in my mind 10 years ago. Didn't know how I was gonna get there, but I knew that if I thought of that thing, like I would make the little steps along the way to get there.
My goals, some of the ones I shared, was launching the merch for BDGE. I feel like that's super untapped for us, and I think that'll be an easier transition once we get the logo locked in and the rebrand locked in. But that should be a stream of revenue we can count on to be like not just like a side thing or a fun thing, but like a legitimate source of income for the company. Like I wanted to like be innovative with like we sell underwear that says like big dog on the dick, or just cool things outside of just a normal t-shirt with our logo on it. Like I want to tap into the merch side of things is a goal of mine. I just want to walk on the street and see someone wearing our shirt. That is like a huge thing I want to see one time.
I don't even know if that could be like the underlying reason behind all this, but like I feel like we should be out there and I want to see us be out there physically, like in the real world.
As you've like committed to being with BDGE, there will be a lot of things that you won't have to do by yourself that I kind of had to learn as I was coming up because I was forced to. And I think a lot of that is product related. So I think you going through this process will be really good for you.
So my goals for the 2024 season year really centered around shipping more products and building my personal brand. Those are my two main initiatives. Really focusing on that speed aspect of it and the frequency of shipping code and getting more things out there, but not overthinking it.
All in on that.
You have a number one product you want to go after? Like something in your mind that's itching at you and you
Yeah,
want to itch it?
you have a product that you would like to make live that we haven't like pushed you to do?
Yes, a number of them.
Okay.
I think primarily right now, or over the last 6 months, AI is something I can't get out of my head. So that there's just so much opportunity with AI. It's essentially created this new, or any like problems that were solved by businesses before can now be solved differently. That is something I'm managing with my, like the products that we're working on, because I also like care deeply about those as well.
As in you want to create an AI product?
Yeah,
Like our own chat GPT?
it's one of the ideas.
Steen GPT.
Oh yeah, with Steen.
Steen GPT.
Banker Steen GPT. I want to build in public more, like build my personal brand more. The content isn't something that's got, like, it's not how I came into the industry, but it is the path I started going down. And going down that path, that like fantasy football is not where my voice is, but I haven't quite figured out exactly where that is. Part of my hypothesis of working here was that being around you all would help naturally force that out of me. So that's going to be a big focus of mine this year, is building my own audience, finding that way to express myself.
I think we should put something hard behind that
Yeah.
because this has been something that you've wanted to do for a while.
Yeah. The shipping more products might seem obvious. It's my job here. But whenever you're creating a product, it has so many steps going from just idea to actually implementing it. Often whole teams that are responsible for just one part of that step. As a individual building out these products, it becomes hard to ship that frequently or compress that timeline. So being able to ship and get stuff out, the audience's hand and the user's hand, is going to be like a major goal for me this year. Figuring out all the things that on the process that aren't necessary, getting rid of them, getting them out of here.
For me personally, I want to start kind of a branch of BDG that focuses more on gambling and DFS.
But yeah, I don't know if that's like a whole nother channel where it's like fantasy dynasty gambling, or if it's part of a different channel, if it's part of trivia, whatever.
The same way that it was like fantasy, season-long fantasy, trivia, dynasty, betting is its own.
Yeah. I want to get to a point though where I'm not really needed in like trivia or fantasy or other aspects. I wouldn't want my time to be split between like that and other things. Yeah, I think I would just be like obsessed with it, and like that's what I would want to go into. I don't know. I guess that feels like a next season thing, maybe even later, but it's kind of like the outlet that I think that I want to get back to.
Yeah, I think we should work together on that in the new year when we get into the office. We could start, if we plan on it being like a summer launch or something like that, or like beginning of the season. I don't think there's much to put in place other than knowing the schedule of content and knowing who's going to be in part of that content. And very much similar to like the way I was describing with Dynasty and Trivia, I think all of our content should work in the way that we are a rotating piece as we want to be in different things.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll hop in fantasy, I'll hop in dynasty, I'll hop in trivia, I'd hop in gambling because I'm relatively interested in all four of those things. And I think if we build out, again, the Rolodex, but also the structure of what we're doing, if we already know what content we're doing, what days and stuff, much easier for people to be flexible with what we're doing.
I don't think it's unattainable. It's just more of, I guess my hesitancy is I would need help in the facet of either somebody taking my work out of trivia or then helping me by adding to gambling.
I don't think either of those are unsolvable.
I want to expand our brand into gambling and DFS because the Sunday slips that we do once a week is personally my favorite piece of content. It doesn't get that much time or that much shine into it. It's just kind of something we sit down and talk about for about 20 minutes each week. And for now, that's fine. I think that's kind of like the max capacity we really have for it. But going into the next year, I would like to spearhead and expand that for BDGE. But you know, it's tough. I feel pretty tied and obligated to other things that we're doing. And starting a whole new venture like that kind of feels like having a kid. I don't want to have this kid if I'm not ready to be like a full-time dad. No one wants like a part-time dad, you know? So we're talking about possibly finding someone that could help with the gambling and DFS side of things, maybe someone that can help some of the trivia work and the fantasy football work off of my plate, different avenues, but excited to explore that for the next year. That's my big goal.
You know, if you only watch us for trivia or you only watch us for fantasy advice, you might not see the full breadth of it, but Tony really cares about betting, and that came out in this meeting, him talking about wanting to just deep dive into creating betting content and really like find whatever that content is that his voice aligns with. I feel like each of these guys are at different stages of their journey or their career. It's cool to see.
I wanted us to land like a sponsorship with a food brand or a drink brand. Like, could we get sponsored by Chipotle? That'd be fucking badass. I don't know how feasible of a goal this is. Could we get a sponsor from C4, from Prime Drinks, from Monster Drinks, from Red Bull, whatever the fuck it is? Just some type of brand that is a part of our lives that we use every day. Drink, food, clothing, something. Equipment, jewelry, whatever.
It just fits us already.
Friedman's.
It is a part of our life.
Yeah.
Into that, I really want us to make a commercial next year, and I want to go after. I don't even know if that's a low hanging fruit one, because I think
That's
we
a
can
goal.
do.
It's a goal, but like it goes back to, you know, we gotta
Write the script and shit.
make shit happen.
Get
Yeah.
that policeman
We gotta get,
outfit.
yeah, we gotta call the police.
Came up with a commercial where you're a cop arresting me for not using code BDGE on Underdog.
You would
And then my
love if I
lawyer
arrested you.
Comes in with the oversized suit.
With the shorts.
I want us to get an NFL player on trivia. I think that would be a fucking cool thing for you guys to watch. I said I wanted to be like, not to be like a dick or like cocky, but like I want it to be a player you guys know, we know. It's not just some guy that happened to be the NFL and was a fourth string offensive lineman one time. Like someone you guys actually know and have heard of. I'm not saying Tom Brady, but I'm not saying his right tackle in 2003 either.
I think,
A group goal is like really dialing in on getting guests.
yeah, I think that'll snowball eventually.
Yeah.
But
I
we
think-
got to start.
We got to start, right. Like that's a conscious thing, like outreach for that stuff. And once we get a few,
Those are like the three big ones.
My goals were very much a mix of personal, business, content related stuff. I want to make sure that we launch the Dynasty specific channel because I think that's going to be a big leg of our business. And I've learned a lot through running the regular fantasy channel and running the trivia channel, things that we can move over into the Dynasty channel. And I think that's going to be a big long-term pillar for what we're doing overall. And then on a more personal level, like my favorite type of content to make is this stuff, is talking about the business and talking about branding and marketing and how we do that internally and the way I see it externally. On the channel that we have called the Big Content Channel, where me and my friend Jack Settleman do it together, I talk about that specifically. Like that is the theme of everything we talk about on that channel as it relates to our experiences. So one of my goals is to uptick the volume that I have on that channel, more like Q&As. Each week I want to release a Q&A because that's like one of my purest forms of expression for what I do right now.
I think a lot of my focus in the upcoming year, especially in the off season, is going to be more personal branding projects. One for myself, because a lot of my passion lies in that stuff. I also think me building my personal brand for sure helps BDGE as a whole. It helps us get recognized as more of an industry leader per se. It's something that's really driving me, and I'm a little bit conflicted with it right now, to be honest, how much energy I want to put into it. I have a lot of energy that I want to put into it, but how much I should, given how much we have going on here, obviously. But I think in the off season, a lot of my focus is going to be going there, but it's going to be good. I think being in the new office around new people and having gut and full time and everything like that, that you guys will undoubtedly be able to pick up some of the stuff that I was doing prior.
So that's more of like a personal goal that I have. Yeah, and I think the overall goal here is like, as it always is, like this is probably my first year, it felt like really bunkering down and trying to lead a team. So I think an overarching goal of mine is to make sure that these guys accomplish their goals. Because it's like, what am I building here if that's not realistically the ultimate goal, right? It's like you're putting people in place to accomplish things because that's what builds this whole thing together. It's not my goals that build it, it's bringing on people that I see have work ethic, passion, all these things, and helping them see their dream come to fruition, you know? Some of it will be BDG related, some of it will be personal related, but I feel like it all plays into itself. Yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all in 2025.
All right. We'll wrap it up there then.
Girl.
My goal is to be the CEO of the company.
Good. My goal is not to be the CEO. We're aligned strategically.
Nick gave it to me.
You gave him a pink one?
Yeah. Beautiful.
But you just gave him a penis-shaped microphone.
Right?
There's like a lip underneath it. Yeah.
You have to stroke the mic to turn it on.
Enough. All right. We're getting out. Bye. Goodbye,
See ya.
gut. Not even in here, so.